G'day everybody. Now who has seen the 90s movie Street Fighter with Van Damme in it? In Street Fighter, there's a group out there, like wants world domination, those type of movies. And what they did is they try to create this monster, right? And this becomes a green monster, right? That everyone uses in the Street Fighter game. And what they did is they captured him. He was a good warrior. He could be potential to be a good warrior, and they wanted to turn these good potential warriors into some beast that they want. And to do that, they gave it chemicals and certain things, shit stirred it, and played it movies and scenes to shit stir it, to make it see the world as greedy and evil and shit like that. But during the movie, the scientists give it a little bit of good stuff. So it becomes a little bit of a 50-50. If you shit stirred it when it got it released and you were a bad guy and you were part of that world, he would fuck you up. And then, if you're lucky enough, you can calm him down a little bit like the Hulk, as he had a little bit of the peace downloaded to him, and he understood that, and he liked that too. Right? In fact, he preferred that one in the end, which is a good thing. But how would you create such a character like that today in a different way? Now, I've been talking about that people, their problems get created in a lot of cases because they create the problem. If you look back in certain areas, you will find that you could create a problem when you do an action, unless that action is a defense action, right? And you've only been defending, you'll be okay. But if it's not, and you started something, and then you try to finish something as using defense, but you're the one that started things and never stopped. And now you're trying to say because the others retaliate that you're defending. You know what I mean? And then other people come in and then they get lost in the story because all they see is the latest part of this one talking about defending and this one now. So who is actually defending? Well, you go back in the story. You go back in history. This is what governments could do. If I was in the government, this is what I would have made a team do. Go back. Go talk to some people and get at least what they've told to the world so the world can make an assumption of what we've got with all the knowledge we've got, and we put it together the best we can to go back to these countries if you want to, tap in. You never tell people advice unless you know the story. And even when you know the story, sometimes you don't know enough, like family members telling you that you should leave or do this and do that, right? As they don't really know you. The more they're around, people around, the more that they're more likely to get to know you, and they're the ones that do. True? Like your lover in the end, or a kid, right? As they're around you the most, or work people if you've been there a long time. But the problem is when it comes to work people, they only know you in the workplace. People and everybody, we all play facades, and we need to in some cases to get along, as we don't agree. So if we don't like farts and it smells, what we do is we say nothing, we look, we smile, we get along with it, but in our heads go, that is disgusting. That is called a facade to get along. We're not showing the truth, are we? So we play facades all the time. Depends on the facade, depends on the outcome, you see. So I thought I'll just chuck that out. What goes around comes around. And the best way to finance is to look back further and then debate that. Right? If I wanted to debate when it comes to Israel and Gaza, I would go right back, find out who did what, how many wars, who started what, and I'll shorten it down to the best I can into an interview to the world of what I believe, who started it, and what's going on, and tip to the tap and all that kind of stuff. Give my opinion and go, now this one here's probably done too much, right? This one here, we've got this by science, we teach this to our kids, this is our way of teaching. If we've got it wrong, you let us know. But first we speak, we show truths, we discuss. Then we get an answer. If we can't get these truths and discuss like a judge would at court and ask these questions and they don't want to be answered, we'll assume that the question is what we assume. So if we ask you, did you do this? And you say nothing and won't give nothing, we will say, I guess he did. You get it? Because they don't stand up. And if they know that you do that, then they would want to stand up, otherwise that's the outcome. True? Anyway, It's too easy for me to use common sense and knowledge and logic. The thing is it real in the real world? Have you ever heard of that? You can get things on paper. It sounds also practical, but in the real world it's not. And you know why? Because in the real world, things lie and deceit out there. If things are to science, that means it has to do an action that you know it will, right? Which is what we can control when we come to things that we make, because it does the action we want. When it comes to humans and trying to connect and get them to do the right thing, it's different, as they all like to facade your answers. And if you get a facade answer, well, what happens with that computer simulation? It gives you the wrong simulation. Anyway, have a good one and see you later.